I have $100,000 cash right now for anybody who can tell me who just tied up my niece and duct taped my niece and killed her mother at Keiki Beach on the North Shore of Oahu. $100,000 right now. And you can tell me who just murdered my twin brother's girl and tied up my niece.
This is a desperate plea to the community, offering a $100,000 reward for anyone who can apprehend the perpetrator responsible for killing his family member. What is the story behind this? Let's revisit the case of Telma Boyneville in this episode. As always, wishing you a joyful day. The videos on this channel are created for advocacy and educational purposes. We deeply empathize with the victims and their families' losses. First, I'll briefly introduce the location where the crime took place. Hawaii, a unique U.S. state situated in the Pacific Ocean, approximately 2,000 miles from the mainland, is America's only tropical archipelago. With 8 main islands, including Oahu, where the Telma Boyneville case occurred, and the most populous hub, Hawaii captivates visitors with its white sandy beaches, majestic volcanoes like Kilauea, and lush rainforests. Formed by volcanic activity, the state boasts diverse landscapes and fertile soil. Polynesians settled here 1,000 years ago, bringing the aloha culture, a spirit of love and hospitality expressed through hula dances and luau festivals. Tourism is the economic backbone, alongside agriculture, pineapples, sandalwood, and military bases. Hawaii blends modern living with untouched beauty, attracting people with activities like surfing, a passion of Telma's. Communities like Pupukea, where the tragedy occurred, are tight-knit and peaceful. Though a dream destination, Hawaii also serves as a reminder of life's fragility through events like Telma Boyneville's 2017 case. Born on February 4, 1966, Telma was a Brazilian woman who made Hawaii her second home in the early 1990s. At 51, she lived happily in Pupukea, a small, tranquil community on Oahu with just over 5,000 residents. Telma was married to Kevin Emery, and they had an 8-year-old daughter, Makana. Telma's life exemplified balance. She worked part-time as a teacher at Sunset Beach Elementary School, while dedicating time to her family and pursuing her passions. Telma embraced Hawaii's free-spirited lifestyle. She frequently surfed with her family, jogged, practiced yoga, trained in martial arts, and even tried her hand at baking. With a radiant smile and a cheerful personality, friends described her as someone who fiercely protected loved ones, enjoyed socializing but wasn't fond of beer. Hawaii, with its tropical climate, majestic mountains, and stunning beaches, was the perfect place for Telma. She particularly loved Kona coffee, the renowned variety grown in the nutrient-rich volcanic soil of the island. You can imagine Telma's life at this point as the dream of many, including myself. To support her family financially, especially for travel plans, Telma took on a side job cleaning Airbnb properties. This work not only provided extra income but also suited her flexible lifestyle. Pupukea, despite being part of Oahu, an island with over 1 million residents, retained a quiet, friendly atmosphere. Telma and her family integrated into this close-knit community where people knew and cherished one another. No one could have foreseen that, in this peaceful place, a horrific tragedy would unfold, claiming Telma's life and leaving deep wounds for those left behind. On December 7, 2017, a Thursday afternoon in Pupukea turned into a fateful day for Telma Boyneville. Telma drove to an Airbnb on Keiki Road, near Rockpile Town, to clean the property for an incoming group of Australian tourists. As usual, she left her 8-year-old daughter Makana in the truck, watching a movie on a personal device. In a peaceful place like Pupukea, this was commonplace, and Telma planned to work quickly, changing sheets, cleaning, placing fresh flowers, before returning. Telma kissed Makana's forehead, told her to wait, and entered the house. Unbeknownst to her, she was not alone. 2 strangers, Stephen Brown, 23, and Haley Dandridge, 20, had broken into the Airbnb just minutes earlier. When Telma unexpectedly appeared, They panicked and immediately threatened her. With no prior acquaintance or conflict, Stephen and Haley brutally attacked Telma. They used multiple weapons, a baseball bat, hammer, knife, and mallet, to beat her. Telma suffered severe injuries to her head, face, shoulders, torso, arms, and legs. The house became a horrific crime scene, with blood splattered and belongings in disarray. After killing Telma, Stephen and Haley stole her car keys, bank cards, and earrings. On the front door frame, they left the word Axel written in blood, a chilling detail linked to Stephen's alias. Outside, they discovered Makana in the truck. Stephen, with his distinctive green hair, tapped on the window and coldly told the girl they had just killed her mother. He dragged Makana inside, bound her with duct tape, covered her face, and left her in a room. A truly deranged act. Fortunately, Makana was unharmed physically, but the trauma from that moment would haunt her for life. Around 3 p.m. on December 7, 2017, 2 Australian tourists arrived at the Airbnb on Kiki Road to check in. Using Airbnb's remote passcode feature, they entered without a guide. Upon stepping inside, they were met with a horrifying scene. Telma Boyneville lay motionless, her body covered in wounds from a savage beating. The house was in disarray, with blood-stained weapons, a baseball bat, hammer, knife, and mallet scattered around. The word Axel written in blood on the doorframe added to the chilling scene. In panic, they rushed outside and immediately called the police. Police arrived quickly and found Makana, Telma's daughter, bound and blindfolded in an upstairs room. Though terrified and in shock, the 8-year-old was unharmed. Makana recounted that a man with green hair and a woman had attacked her mother. The man told her that her mother had been killed before dragging her inside and tying her up. Makana's account became a crucial lead, helping police piece together the incident. News of the crime spread rapidly through the small Pupukea community. North Shore residents were stunned and heartbroken to learn that Telma, a beloved mother, teacher, and friend, had been brutally murdered. Family, friends, and acquaintances were devastated. Gareth McNamara, Telma's brother-in-law and a renowned surfer, publicly offered a $100,000 reward for information leading to the capture of the perpetrators. In his grief, he choked back tears while sharing the pain felt by Makana and the family. He was the deeply distraught and desperate man featured in the clip at the start of this episode, someone who dearly loved his family, especially his niece. The North Shore community held a prayer vigil and candlelight ceremony to honor Telma. People described her as always smiling, fond of baking, and generous. Telma's loss was not only a private tragedy for her family, but a collective wound for the community, fueling their resolve to seek justice for her. After the horrific crime, North Shore police immediately launched a manhunt for the 2 suspects based on Makana's description, a man with green hair and a woman accompanying him. Telma's silver Toyota Tacoma truck, license plate KWN344, had been stolen, becoming a key lead. The Pupukea community rallied, spreading information about the vehicle and urging others to assist in the search. The unity of North Shore residents shone through in this moment of grief. Just 7 hours after the crime, police located Telma's truck in a parking lot near town. Astonishingly, the 2 suspects were still inside. They were arrested on the spot. Stephen Brown, 23, with his distinctive green hair, and Haley Dandridge, 20, his girlfriend. Stephen resisted fiercely, yelling at the police, "Just shoot me. I deserve it." Haley was calmer, but made odd remarks, asking the police to shoot her because her life was over. During the search, police found Haley wearing Telma's earrings, carrying Makana's small backpack, and in possession of the victim's bank card. Both suspects had dried blood on their hands, clear evidence tying them to the crime. The North Shore community was outraged when the suspects' identities were revealed. An angry crowd gathered around the arrest site, demanding justice for Telma. Information about Stephen spread quickly as residents discovered his Facebook page, where he called himself Axel Hayes Hendricks, matching the word Axel written in blood at the crime scene. Stephen and Haley were detained immediately, with bail set at $1 million and $500,000, respectively. Their brutal actions, from murdering Telma to holding Makana captive, ignited public fury. The swift arrests offered a glimmer of hope that justice would be served, but the story of the two perpetrators still held many mysteries to unravel.
A community is in mourning tonight after a well-known mom was brutally murdered inside a North Shore home. Late this afternoon, family of the victim, identified as Telma Boyneville, held a vigil to remember her. Her body was found in a vacation rental home yesterday on Keiki Road. Arevalo joins us from Haleiwa with more. Elisa?
Hey, Joe. Yes, we are here on the North Shore next to Breaker's Restaurant. This is where that candlelight vigil is set to get underway following the parade, and a big turnout is expected. As you know, the North Shore community is very close-knit, and people I spoke with off camera tell me they're still reeling. There was a gathering earlier of family and friends where they came to pay their respects. The family asked for privacy, so we left, but we did see people hugging and offering condolences to the victim's husband. I'm told her pastor also shared a few words and prayers in Portuguese. Now, I did speak with a few people who knew the victim off camera, and again, they tell me she was someone who everyone loved. She was always smiling, and they said she loved to bake for others. So we will wait here once that parade finishes. Again, this is where that candlelight vigil is set to start following the Christmas parade. We'll have more coverage in our later newscast tonight. Joe, send it back to you.
Let's delve into Stephen Brown, the primary perpetrator in Telma Boyneville's murder. A haunting figure with green hair and ruthless behavior. Born in 1994 in Ohio, Stephen grew up in Florida in a deeply unstable childhood. His father was absent, and his mother often neglected her children to pursue personal relationships. Stephen had to fend for himself and his younger sister, leading to his placement in foster care before being adopted by the Brown family at age 11. However, his troubled past cannot justify the horrific acts he later committed. At Northeast High School in St. Petersburg, Florida, classmates described Stephen as weird and prone to violence. He was accused of repeatedly assaulting an ex-girlfriend, earning a notorious reputation in the community. In 2016, Stephen was convicted of felony theft, but was released on probation in July 2017. He violated probation terms, resulting in a warrant for his arrest. In 2015, Stephen moved to Hawaii, living an aimless life without stable employment. On Facebook, he claimed to be a singer and guitarist, though no one ever saw him perform. A self-proclaimed artist. Quite delusional, don't you think? Stephen had peculiar habits, like writing his name on others' belongings or doodling in roommates' spaces. He once dyed his dog's fur because he thought it looked cool, despite his rental agreement prohibiting pets. Notably, he adopted the alias Axel Hendricks on social media, a name that appeared at the crime scene. Just 11 days before murdering Telma, Stephen and Haley recorded a disturbing video, laughing about death, expressing disdain for life, and bizarrely thanking Satan. What do you make of someone like that? To me, he's quite a nuisance, a true eccentric in the worst sense. When arrested, Stephen not only resisted, but attempted to lick blood off his hands to tamper with evidence, an act that disgusted even the police. His volatile personality, criminal history, and callousness left the public wondering, what turned Stephen into such a cold-blooded killer? Haley Dandridge, the second suspect in Telma Boyneville's murder, was a 20-year-old with an unremarkable appearance. Born and raised in Bend, Oregon, Haley was remembered by classmates as quiet, friendly, and unmemorable. The daughter of an elementary school teacher, she had a relatively normal childhood at High Lakes Elementary School. However, in 2012, Haley ran away from home twice, prompting her family to report her to the police. These incidents seemed to be early signs of instability in her life. In 2017, Haley moved to Oahu, Hawaii, and enrolled at Kapiolani Community College to study liberal arts. Within months, she met Stephen Brown and quickly entered a relationship with him. Haley's transformation from a reserved young woman into a willing accomplice in a horrific crime shocked many. Her Facebook posts showed her frequently appearing with Stephen. And here's an example video of the couple.
We just died. Again. This is our dying video.
Yeah.
It was nice knowing you, world.
Sort of.
Not really.
Not really. Mostly bullshit.
Yeah. Thank you, Satan, for all you've done. By fucking me in the ass with a cactus.
It's been nice.
It's been real lovely.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
You're a real nice guy. Anyway, this is us checking out. It's been real. It's been fun.
Bye.
Goodbye. Anarchy.
The trial of Stephen Brown began in January 2023, nearly 5 years after Telma Boyneville's murder, delayed by the COVID-19 pandemic and legal complications. The community anxiously awaited justice. Stephen faced charges of second-degree murder, kidnapping, robbery, and theft. Throughout the trial, he maintained a cold demeanor, answering questions in a flat, emotionless tone that infuriated many. Stephen claimed he didn't kill Telma, pinning all blame on Haley Dandridge. He insisted his only intent was to steal a guitar and a bottle of champagne from the Airbnb. According to his testimony, when Telma entered, Haley grabbed a machete, ordered Telma to lie down, and killed her while Stephen stood watch outside. He said he returned to find Telma in a pool of blood. However, his account contradicted multiple pieces of evidence, particularly Makana's testimony. At age 13, the courageous girl took the stand, recounting how Stephen, with his green hair, tapped on the truck window, declared he had killed her mother, and dragged her inside to tie her up.
Haley came back and we're drinking, and next thing you know, we hear somebody coming from the front. And, I wanted to run, but me and Haley was like, wait, because whoever the person was, which later was Telma, but she was already approaching us, and so we were hid behind the stairs. And Haley still had the machete in her hand from when she was, scouting the house looking for stuff she wanted. And when Telma came, Haley, walked out, and Telma was saying something, and I walk out with Haley, and she just kind of stops. She's like, she doesn't know what's going on, and kind of asks like who we were, and she's like, you guys just go, and Haley. Next thing you know, Haley's like, told her to lay down, and I'm blocking her off from one side, and she's like, okay, and she goes to go lay down, and she lays down.
Was she cooperative at that point when you?
Yeah, she was listening. Yeah, she was being cooperative. She just said, I have a daughter outside, and it was all kind of fast. Like, as soon as she came around the corner, we stepped out. She was saying something to us, and then, Haley told her to lay down, told me, grab the rope. I run over, I go grab the rope, and then I bring it back. Then she's like, to start tying her up. So I start tying up her legs. Then, I hand Haley the rope. She starts to tie up her hands, and Haley's like, go make sure no one else is here. And I was like, okay. So I go towards the garage.
How long were you watching in the area of the garage?
For like 10 minutes maybe, so I'm watching, and I kind of creep around the garage to try to see, because I see that someone's in the truck, and I eventually see that it was Makana. And so I'm just watching for a while, and I didn't see anyone else. So eventually I go back to the garage door, I open it, I go back inside to go tell Haley what happened.
Okay, so when you went back inside, what happened? That's when I walked back to Haley, and that's when Telma had, she had been hurt already. There was blood around her, and I kind of walk over there, and I just start snapping at Haley. I was like, "What did you do?" I thought, first off, I thought we were just gonna run in the first place, and then when I came back, I thought, that was gonna be the plan. We were just gonna run and get away. But when I came back, there was blood on her. I mean, there was blood on her, there was blood on Telma, and there's blood on the ground. And I come over. Was there blood on Haley too?
Yeah, there was.
The autopsy report further exposed the brutality of the crime. Telma sustained multiple wounds from sharp and blunt weapons, with marks on her hands indicating she fought back before being bound. These details debunked Stephen's claim of non-involvement. His act of licking blood off his hands to tamper with evidence during his arrest further repulsed the public. Prosecutors emphasized that Stephen was not only involved, but likely the mastermind of the attack. After hours of deliberation, the jury found Stephen guilty of murder, kidnapping, and theft. Though sentencing is pending, He almost certainly faces life in prison without parole. The trial not only laid bare Stephen's crimes, but also raised questions about Haley's responsibility as she awaits her own trial. The community hopes the next trial will uncover the full truth. I've seen many cases involving criminal couples who seem devoted until justice looms. Then they turn on each other. And what do you think drives this pattern of betrayal in such pairs?
And 1 CPC 17-1731, State of Hawaii versus Stephen Brown. We, the jury of this case, find the defendant Stephen Brown in count 1, guilty as charged of murder in the second degree. In count 2, guilty as charged of kidnapping. In count 3, guilty as charged of kidnapping. In count 4, guilty as charged of burglary in the first degree.
After Stephen Brown's conviction, all eyes turned to Haley Dandridge, the second suspect in Telma Boyneville's murder. Haley's trial was scheduled for July 2023, continuing the pursuit of justice for Telma. Unlike Stephen, with his clear criminal history, Haley remained an enigma to many. From a quiet girl in Oregon, she became an accomplice in a brutal crime, leaving the public questioning her motives and degree of responsibility. Haley faced charges of second-degree murder, kidnapping, robbery, and related offenses. While awaiting trial, her attorney requested her release during the COVID-19 pandemic, arguing she was innocent until proven guilty and shouldn't face health risks in jail. This request sparked outrage in the community and was fortunately denied. Delays stretching over 5 years heightened frustration, but Telma's family and Pupukea residents patiently awaited the day Haley would face justice. Based on Stephen's trial, Haley is likely to continue the blame-shifting strategy. Stephen accused her of killing Telma, while Haley claimed she was coerced by a toxic relationship with him. Evidence like Haley possessing Telma's and Makana's belongings at her arrest, along with blood on her hands, makes her defense hard to believe. Makana's testimony, identifying both suspects at the scene, will also be a critical factor in the trial. The North Shore community hopes Haley's trial will clarify her role in the crime. Was she a victim manipulated by Stephen or an active accomplice? Her callousness during arrest and the pre-crime video, where she laughed about death, lead many to believe she participated willingly. Whatever the outcome, this trial promises to close a painful chapter, offering some solace to Telma's family and the community. The Telma Boyneville case shocked not only for its brutality, but also for the perplexing psychology of Stephen Brown and Haley Dandridge. This couple, despite knowing each other for only a few months, committed a horrific crime together, prompting questions about what bound them and drove their actions. Criminal psychologists suggest their relationship showed signs of a toxic codependency, where they fueled each other's deviant impulses. The video recorded 11 days before the crime, in which Stephen and Haley laughed about death and thanked Satan, revealed their unstable mental state, even glorifying destruction. Stephen, with his violent past and sense of societal rejection, seemed to find in Haley a kindred spirit willing to follow him into crime. Haley, once a reserved girl, may have been swept into Stephen's orbit, feeling liberated from her previously quiet life. However, the extent of her willingness remains a major question. Their post-crime behavior further highlighted their callousness. From Haley wearing Telma's earrings and carrying Makana's backpack to Stephen licking blood off his hands, they showed not only a lack of remorse, but also a sense of pride. During the trial, they turned on each other, a common trait among criminal couples under legal pressure. Stephen accused Haley of the killing, while Haley claimed she was manipulated by him. Questions about their motives remain unanswered. Why did they target Telma, a complete stranger? Was this a robbery that escalated into murder, or was it premeditated? The North Shore community hopes Haley's trial will shed light on these mysteries, but the warped psychology of this couple may forever remain an enigma, leaving enduring pain for those left behind. After the horrific crime that took Telma Boyneville's life, her family slowly learned to live with their grief. On February 2, 2018, Telma's family and friends held a special ceremony off Oahu's coast. They paddled out to sea, scattering Telma's ashes into the ocean. where she once surfed and found joy. Dozens of loved ones attended, saying Telma had returned to where she belongs. The ceremony was a way to say goodbye while honoring a deeply loving woman. Kevin Emery, Telma's husband, and their daughter Makana continued living in Oahu, carrying cherished memories of their wife and mother. Kevin shared that he forgave Telma's killers, choosing to live with the aloha spirit of love and compassion. He called Makana his most precious gift, proud of her resilience despite immense pain. At 14, Makana is growing up strong, but the memories of that fateful day in 2017 undoubtedly left deep scars. The North Shore community continues supporting Telma's family through a GoFundMe, aiding Makana's education and therapy to heal from trauma. This solidarity reflects Pupukea's tight-knit spirit, where Telma was an integral part. Those who knew her remember her radiant smile, love for family, and passion for surfing. Telma was not just a victim of a crime, but a symbol of vitality and kindness. The Telma Boyneville case reminds us of life's fragility, but also showcases a community's strength in the face of tragedy. Though Stephen Brown has been convicted and Haley Dandridge awaits justice, the pain of Telma's family will never fully fade. Yet, through love and memory, Telma's spirit endures, like Oahu's waves, forever comforting those left behind. What do you think of this case? Behind the pain, I hope Telma's family finds strength and good fortune moving forward. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for new updates. See you next time.